From Does Size Matter, and we are here at RV1 in Tampa, Florida, on their lot in the sun to show you, and especially you, Richard, who was one of our subscribers who asked to see the Jayco Pinnacle. Super excited to show you this trailer. I've been researching it for days and we've got lots to tell you about it. So in this video we're going to do the construction, and then in the end I will link to another video that takes you through more of a tour of the rig. So depending on which information you're interested in, you can get that. As well, we'll put a link in the description to one of our really super good sources that we use in our research that you could use too. So click the link in the description to get to that. And as always, remember, this is mine and Corey's opinion based on the research we do and how we would use a rig. We're not the experts, we just are trying to gather all the research to share with you. So let's talk about the Jayco Pinnacle. Been doing tons of research for this video. I've got lots of sources, so I've had to put everything together and I've kept notes so I could give you the best information that I could find. So the Jayco Pinnacle is made on custom chassis. So they pick a floor plan and they have the chassis built specifically for that floor plan. They are on the Dexter axles with the never adjust drum brakes, and they're also using the MoreRide LRE 4000 rubberized suspension on the leaf springs. Then I want to take you down and show you, and I'm sorry that it's so noisy, but these RV dealerships are often along major highways, so people will notice them. So I wanted to show you here. This is the 12-inch one-piece I-beam that is used for the frame. And then you can see here, these are the outriggers that go and run the full span. This is a wide body 102-inch trailer. Then the other thing I wanted to show you is right here. And this is another I-beam that is used. This is a 10-inch I-beam that's used along with this 12-inch one in order to beef it up and allow it to have the drop frame that gives you all that super great storage in the front here. But they got to make it strong, so they add this extra I-beam. Then on top of that, they are using 2-inch steel cross members on 18-inch centers throughout in order to give strength to that floor of your storage area. Let's go to the front and see if I can show you some stuff there. Something seems amiss and we're trying to figure it out for you, but from all the research that we've done, which is a lot, versus what we're actually seeing in here, I want to figure a few things out. Come around this side and have a look. You know what? I don't see a roll of fiberglass. This is the double-sided foil, which is a cushiony. Like, it's not just that foil wrap stuff.
Right.
There is some
like air bubbles in it?
Yeah. And then you've got this layer of plywood, and then you've got flooring. So we've got a steel beam there. We've got wood here going across that way. We've got the aluminum here. We spend days and days doing research before we come and check out a rig. And then we come and we really get into it and start looking, and sometimes we find surprises that we have to figure out or that we didn't quite know the answers to. So what we want to show you on this trailer that we found is that in this drop down section where the storage space is, we have found that the flooring system inside the house up there, this piece, is differently constructed than what we believe the rest of the flooring system in the rest of the trailer is, and different than what we think the flooring system in the gooseneck piece is. Now, we wish we could like peel this apart and look at every little bit of it, but we can't. They'd kick us out of here. So what we've got is our research that we believe the other two are on, and we'll explain that, and then we're going to show you in here, because the gooseneck should be built on the steel frame, and then there is a wood flooring frame on top of the steel for the rest. What we found in this section of flooring is that there are 2x3 aluminum floor joists running this way, and they have that cushioned reflective foil, and then they've got the 5/8 tongue and groove plywood, and then they've got the flooring in this section. So what we're seeing is the rolled fiberglass insulation that we think are in the other two pieces are not actually here, but that's okay, because this is a heated storage area. So you can see the aluminum ducting and the actual venting, which is quite large, into this whole area. So this is going to be heated, and it is insulated, and it's fine. It's just different than what we're going to tell you for the other two pieces. So since they give you this nice drop frame, I'm going to suggest that when you guys are looking, climb in, because there's lots to see in here. You can find places like this. Sorry about the traffic. You can find places like this. So I can see back in there. I can see all the ducting. I can see all sorts of different things back there. So it's good for you to do that too. Now, again, Corey and I are just here looking and picking apart and trying to learn everything we can. But for those of you that are owners or manufacturers or dealers that have added information on this, please share it in the comments, because then we all learn by doing that. So I'm going to climb on out of here, and let's go look at one of the other spaces and see how that floor works. Okay, so as we move up in this direction, where the actual gooseneck part of the trailer is, so what we found in this area is that you are getting a 2x6-inch steel frame and 2-inch steel cross members on 12-inch centers going through here for support. On top of that is the 5/8-inch tongue and groove plywood that's glued down to all of those joists. And then your finished flooring is on top of that, whether that be carpet or lino or whichever is in there. Then there's a rolled fiberglass insulation in there and the reflective foil stuff. So it should make about a 2.5-inch floor in this area. And then this is the part that we weren't 100% sure of what it is. I believe it's a fiberglass piece, but in nowhere in our research did it actually talk about it, what it's made of, or how it's put on. But I do believe it's a fiberglass piece. And then they have this fiberglass cap that goes on in front of it as well. So they are two separate pieces is what I'm trying to get at. So I just realized something, that we've switched trailers. So here on the RV1 lot, they have a number of Jayco Pinnacles, and we were able to see different things in different spots on these, and I wanted to show them to you. But the point is that they're built exactly the same. They just might look a little different. And this particular one is the one with the decals, and the one we started on, which we'll go back to. I'm going to smash my head.
I almost got that off.
You guys wouldn't have thought that was funny,
No.
would you? Finally, I banged my head. But this one here, which was the one we started showing you, is actually the full body paint. And so you can choose. That's one of the options with the Pinnacle, is you can choose whether you want full body paint in a couple of colors, or do you want decals. Now, of course, you pay for that, but you pay for everything, don't you? So next then, I want to talk about the flooring in the main part of the trailer. Come on. It'll start after that extra I-beam, right?
Yeah.
So from there up, the flooring's going to be different. And let me look at my notes to make sure I get it right for you. So the main floor is a 2x3 wood joist floor. We think on 16-inch centers. We weren't able to find super factual information about that, but we did find it on one of the forums that it was mentioned they were on 16-inch centers. So again, if you have that information factually, please include it in the comments so that we all know. Next, they put the 5/8-inch tongue and groove plywood on this floor, and this floor is screwed and glued down. And then they put the finished flooring, which they call a diamond floor. That's the brand name, I guess, of the vinyl that's on the inside. Below the joists, you're going to find a fiberglass, rolled out fiberglass insulation with that reflective foil stuff that we saw up at the top. So then finally, it's a Jayco moisture wrap, and I just want to show you that. You can see it good under here. If you climb under with me, right here. Can you see this? This is the moisture wrap that they take and put over that whole thing and wrap it up so that it's a moisture barrier, it seals things off, and you know, keeps things from getting in there. Now, then underneath that, in that chassis is where you're getting your tanks, and those are all ducted for heat as well. And then after all that, the other thing that Jayco does is they try to keep all of the wiring sort of concealed in something, and so just so hopefully it's not going to get any damage as these slides are moving in and out. Also, way underneath here, to finish off the whole flooring system, you get this corrugated plastic underbelly, and a lot of rigs have this to keep everything enclosed, but this one, the significant thing is that they tuck it in this little channel all the way along and all the way around so that it's more sealed and nothing can kind of get up and around that. I've seen it where it's sitting out here, so there could be gaps in it along here where this is tucked up inside here securely. All right, let's see what's next. I need a tire. Okay. Next, the walls on the Pinnacle. So these are vacuum bonded, aluminum framed, foam insulated walls. So you get your fiberglass piece, you get some Luan, then it goes to your aluminum frame with your foam insulation, then it goes to another piece of Luan, and then your decorative wall. And then it all gets compressed in the vacuum bonding to come up with this. What I was having a hard time finding a lot of information on the framing of these walls. We know there's an aluminum cage. I'm fairly confident that the openings for the slides and doors are all aluminum framed. I'm not sure about the smaller openings for windows and storage doors and things like that. So again, if somebody's got that information, please include it. We also know that they use galvanized sheet metal pieces, which we've seen on lots of other trailers, that they put in place to give more anchor points for things that have to get put onto the walls. And the slide walls are also made exactly the same as the main wall system. And something significant that I'm going to put in a link in the description that I'd love for you to go check out. As I'm doing my research, I come across this video of a Jayco trailer that has been in a bad storm and flipped over on its side. Unfortunately, the dealership's got to pick that thing back up, right? And as I watch them do it, they're not, I don't know, I'm not even thinking they're being that careful. They've got it attached to a big piece of machinery and they're just lifting it up. And when it lifts up, the wall is in perfect shape. It's not smashed in. I mean, the awning was a little wrecked and everything on it, but the windows weren't smashed. The wall wasn't smashed in. And as they picked it up and all that stress is on it coming over, even on its jacks, it just stands up. It's still square. It's in great shape. So I want to include that because to me, that's a testament in real life of how the RV managed in a very negative situation. Now, it didn't show us inside and all those kinds of things, but just to show the strength of the rig, it seemed kind of important to me. So I want to include that link so you guys can have a look at it too. Something new that we hadn't found anywhere in our research, but we find when we get here, is that they've got this telescoping slide system. Now we noticed on the other side, on the bigger slide, it is a rack and pinion, but we've also seen on this one, which is fairly large, the slim rack system, and then on the smaller one is the Schwintek system. So those are appropriate systems. I just haven't seen or showing you guys a telescoping system before. One other thing I wanted to share with you that I found in the forums, and if there's sort of a consistent concern that people have had with something, then I pay a little more attention to it. If it's just a one-off, you know, stuff happens. But they have had some concerns with some cracking in, I think more at the front here, in the fiberglass of the rig, near the bedroom slides. Now, I've heard that from a number of different owners, and it seems that they haven't really figured out what that could be from, whether it's from the towing mechanism or the pull on the trailer. Is it the size of the slide? Is it the mechanism? No one's really figured it out, but Jayco's aware, and so they're working with people and they're fixing those problems. And you know, there is no perfect trailer out there. So what's important is that there is customer satisfaction when it comes to getting help with any issues that a person has. So as I was looking through that, I found that, you know, it seemed like most folks were getting help from Jayco. There were, of course, those people out there. You can find a problem anywhere if you look hard enough. But I know that you guys are doing the same research that I'm doing. So I just want you to know that if you're reading those kinds of things in forums and stuff, it is something that you should discuss with the manufacturer and the dealership and see where they're at with it. But as long as they're providing you with whatever service you might need, that's probably going to be the most important point for you, because we never know what might happen with our rig when we buy one. So make sure you look into that as well. Otherwise, this is a pretty cool system, and I'm going to show it to you when we go inside. Come on. The other important thing to note as we move up and get towards the explanation of the roof is that there is 7-inch wood headers above all of the slide openings. Now that's more not so much wall construction as it is in order to support the heavy roof structure that's above it. But they are there, so I wanted to mention that, and then we'll move on and talk about the roof. Okay, we came inside to show you the roof system just because it's so darn noisy out there, but you can get an idea about the roof system from in here. It is a Magnum truss roof, and Jayco's really super proud of it. It is a radius wood trussed roof that is 6 inches thick all the way through. It has 2x2 vertical supports throughout it and oversized nail plates at all of the joints to keep it supported and strong. It has a 3/8-inch plywood decking, and then it has a one-piece die-core rubber roof topping. On the inside, you get the rolled fiberglass insulation and the double-sided foil insulation, and then it goes to your interior stuff. So that big space in there allows for larger ducting to be put in place. So there's sheet metal ducting that can go through there. It's bigger, it's circular, and it circulates the air throughout, so that helps a lot. It's also a very heavy-duty, strong roof system. So, you know, that's why it's important that you have those headers above the slides just to add extra support. But I mean, this is a roof that's going to be able to handle a big snow load if you're in an area that it's going to have to withstand that. Or who knows, maybe you go to a NASCAR race and you're going to want to be on your roof. You can do that on something like this. Maybe we will. That would be very fun to do. So that's how the roof system works on the Jayco Pinnacle. Another thing that Jayco is really proud of is their climate shield system that they have on these rigs. Now, there's lots of little details that go into it, but basically the idea is that they have been able to do some temperature testing on it and know that they can keep the rig between 71 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit in weather extremes, such as up to 100 degrees or down to 0 degrees. So they're quite comfortable in calling this a four-season trailer. The Pinnacle also has wood doors, drawers, and boxes. The other thing I want to talk about was the warranty on a Jayco Pinnacle. So there is a 2-year warranty for defects in workmanship or materials. And then I did read elsewhere that there was a 3-year warranty on structural issues, but I didn't find that consistently across the board in all the information. So anybody knows for sure, because you know they make changes on that stuff all the time, so let us know. The other thing that I learned is that it is warranted for full-timer use, so if that's you, that would be excellent. And the other point to note is that it is not a transferable warranty, so if you're buying used, you should know that you won't be getting that same warranty. Now there's other types of warranties out there that you can get, just know it's not the same one that comes when you buy brand new. So that is the Jayco Pinnacle construction video. Hope you guys have liked it. Hope you might have learned something or it helped you out in some way. Give us a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe. We love having you along, and we're going to give you a tour of one of these great rigs in the corner, or come along on an adventure. We'd love to have you. Thanks for watching.